What a goal! Oh my goodness! And the puck deflected, they score!
Hello and welcome to the group stage draw for the 2022-2023 Champions League season. My name is Lindsay Hamilton, and today we are here at Nokia Arena in beautiful Tampere, Finland, the only city with two different clubs in today's CHL draw. Ilves finished third in this year's Finnish league to qualify for what will be its first CHL season. Well, Tappara just won its 18th league title 4 weeks ago, and of course was the runner-up in last year's CHL final to Rögle Ängelholm. Rögle, Tappara, and Ilves are three of the 32 clubs in what is the group stage draw for the 8th CHL season. 5 clubs are in the draw for the first time, while both Ilves and Strasbourg Tigers from Germany were in the draw 2 years ago, but now make their CHL debuts after their seasons had to be cancelled. Exactly 100 clubs from 20 countries have now taken part in the competition, proof of the strength and depth of hockey across Europe. Of those 20 countries, Sweden has dominated the CHL so far, as SHL clubs have won 6 titles, finished second twice, and reached the semifinals on 5 other occasions. So we now enter a new season wondering to ourselves, can another country rise up and break the Swedish stranglehold? And joining us here in Tampere are the president and the CEO of the CHL, Peter Zahner and Martin Baumann. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you.
Peter, I'll begin with you. What stood out the most to you from last season's Champions Hockey League?
Well, first, after an entire season we missed in 2020-21, it was very good that we came back in season 21-22. And second, the final in Ängelholm. The atmosphere was unbelievable with great sports, 2 top teams, so it was very impressive.
Martin, last year you ran a pan-European competition, 32 teams, 14 different countries during a pandemic, no easy feat. How do you think the CHL cope with the challenges that were presented by COVID-19?
Well, actually, it was a very thin path to walk, but we did our experience, or had our experience with the season before. All the procedures were in place, the medical procedure, everything. And thanks to the good cooperation we had with the league, with the clubs, with the federation, it really helped. And finally, I think everybody was quite flexible, quite open, and that was probably the reason why it became to a success in the end.
Wonderful to hear. Of course, it was no easy year. Now, Peter, we know 4 different clubs have won European titles so far. 3 of the 4 were Swedish. What stands out to you about Sweden's power?
Well, you know, when a team wins the Champions Hockey League title, they deserve it. So no matter are they're coming from Finland, Sweden, or Germany, Switzerland, Czech Republic, no matter. The winner deserves it. When it's a couple times Sweden, it's quite okay. Sweden is a great hockey nation, so they deserve it.
And Martin, this year the league is welcoming clubs from Hungary and Slovenia for the very first time. What do you expect from the two new additions?
Well, it's actually always nice to have new markets, new teams, new leagues, and this is the case. But we have other ones, you just mentioned it, and it's always great to have new ones, to see new hockey cultures, especially if you see those fans traveling from one country to the other. And I'm really looking forward. I mean, I know both teams, and so far I'm really impressed what they showed, and also the other ones which participate for the first time.
Wonderful. Martin and Peter, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you a little later on. We, of course, have plenty to look forward to as we approach a new season. And on that note, let's now take a look at the pot allocations for this year's 32 clubs. There are 4 pots of 8 teams each, based on the strength of the national leagues according to the CHL ranking system. Tappara, Frölunda Gothenburg, and EV Zug are the only 3 clubs to have qualified in all CHL seasons so far, while 6 other clubs have missed out on qualifying only once. Teams from 14 different countries are in the draw, and as we mentioned earlier, Hungary and Slovenia are represented this year for the very first time. Hungary's Székes Fehérvár qualified by finishing 3rd in the mostly Austrian ice hockey league, while Olimpia Ljubljana from Slovenia has been allocated a wild card for this year's CHL. As was the case last season, Sweden and Switzerland lead the way, with 5 clubs from each country taking part. On the other hand, we celebrate another first today by welcoming 2 clubs from Poland to the same CHL season. Last month, GKS Katowice won its first Polish league title since 1970, while Komarch Cracovia also qualified by winning the IIHF Continental Cup back in early March. Komarch Cracovia, rather. And before we welcome 2 very special visitors that I know are eager to get onto the stage, and I am very eager to interview them, we want to hear from you, the viewers at home. We have 2 online polls open right now for you to answer. First, we want to know, which of the clubs making their CHL debut do you think will be the surprise team of the season? And second, we ask you, which country do you think the next CHL champions will hail from? Please visit championshockeyleague.com. You can go on right now, cast your votes, join the conversation, and we will, of course, present the results later on in the program. It is now time to introduce 2 very special guests to the draw, Olli Jokinen and Sami Kapanen. Olli played for 17 years in North America. The former Kaupa, Kuopio, and IFK Helsinki player collected 750 points in more than 1,200 NHL regular season games. After retiring and coaching youth hockey in Florida, Olli became the head coach of Jukurit Mikkeli last year and promptly helped Jukurit reach the CHL for the very first time. Olli also won 3 Olympic medals and 6 World Championship medals as a player with the Finnish national team. Sami played more than 800 NHL games across 12 seasons with the Hartford Whalers, Carolina Hurricanes, and Philadelphia Flyers, and he reached the Stanley Cup Finals with Carolina in 2002. Also a 3-time Olympian and a World Championship gold medalist with Finland in 1995, Sami started and finished his professional playing career in Finland with Kaupa, and he coached the Kuopio club when it played in the CHL in 2017. Sami, Olli, thank you so much for being with me today. Are you excited?
Yes.
Lots to look forward to?
Absolutely.
All right, we got to bring this energy up a little bit, I think, boys. Sami, let's start with you. On top of your 12 years in North America, you played more than 400 games in the Finnish league. What would you say are the biggest differences between the European game and the National Hockey League?
Well, it's a whole lot different game. When you play in NHL, the ice surface is so much smaller. You're facing in a nightly basis, the best players in the world, so the demand is quite high. Less time to make a play, so it's a tough challenge and something that every European kid they're dreaming of and making and playing over there. So it's fun, but it's demanding. And
you were able to do it so well. Olli, I know you helped Jukurit reach the CHL in your first season as a head coach in the Finnish league. How big of a deal was that for you personally and for the club as a whole?
Not that big of a deal for myself, but obviously for the players, it was a huge thing, and for the club and the organization, it's a step in the right direction. There's been a lot of question marks and a lot of stories past 5 years if Jukurit even belongs to Finnish league, and I think we just prove it this year that this team belongs to the league, and hopefully we can have a long run in CHL as well.
Showing you belong. Now, Sammy, I know you coached Kalpa in the CHL. You also played in 3 Winter Olympics, 7 World Championships for the Finnish national team, just a few. What does it mean for a player to compete in international competition like the Champions Hockey League?
Well, I think it's always fun. As a player, you're looking for different kind of challenges. At the times you get to play so many games against your local and nation rivalries. So once you get to play in international level, players, they get excited. They can gain so much. At the time when we played in the Champions Hockey League, we gained quite a lot and had a good run in the Finnish league in that year. So it helped us a lot.
And Ollie, we have the draw coming up momentarily. Are you hoping to be drawn against any teams from particular countries today? Are you leaning a certain way at all?
Not really. We'll see what happens, but I want to face the big clubs because it would be the great challenge for us. We know we can't compete with the payrolls and stuff like that, but it would be the great opportunity to players to show their skills in the bigger clubs in Europe.
Okay, and how far do you think Jukurit can go in this year's CHL?
All the way. That's why we're here.
All the way. I like the confidence, Ollie. I like it. All right. Well, Ollie, Sammy, thank you so much for helping us with the draw. Before we start allocating teams to the groups, let's take a look at the technical rules and procedures for the draw.
The Champions Hockey League group stage draw. 32 teams will be drawn into 8 groups with 4 teams each. All teams will be seeded into 4 pots according to their CHL ranking, a combination of their performance in the domestic league and the ranking of the league itself. Pot 1 will have the CHL champions, the national champions of the 6 founding leagues, and the top second-seeded team of the highest-ranked founding league. Pots 2 and 3 will be filled with the other qualified teams of the founding leagues, again ranked by their domestic performance and the ranking of the league in the CHL League ranking. Pot 4 contains the national champions of the Challenger Leagues and the IIHF Continental Cup winners. Pot 4 will be drawn first. Pot 1 with the highest ranked teams will be drawn last. There cannot be 2 teams of the same league drawn into the same group. When such a league conflict occurs, the team drawn will be moved to the next available group and the next team drawn will go to the previous group. After the draw, the complex scheduling process for the group stage takes place, fitting in all the needs of involved parties such as clubs, arenas, broadcasters and leagues. The final schedule is published shortly after the draw on championshockeyleague.com, and the next hockey journey for fans all over Europe can begin.
All right, now that we know the rules and procedures, we are ready to get the draw underway, and we are joined by CHL Sport Director Alex Yeager to oversee the procedure. Alex, thank you for being here with us today. Are you ready to go?
Now we're ready.
Big thumbs up?
Yeah.
All right, I like the energy coming from you. Okay, well, Martin, you're up first. Please start us off by drawing the first puck from pot 4.
Let's do that with energy. Aalborg Pirates from Denmark.
Okay, their second CHL participation this year. Moving along to Group B now.
Team number 100, Olympia Ljubljana from Slovenia.
Their first CHL appearance as the wild card. Looking to Group C.
Slovan Bratislava.
They qualified as national champions, have 10 national titles, the most recent in 2022. Looking at Group D now, Martin.
GKS Katowice from Poland.
All right, rounding out Group D. Also, first CHL appearance. Our next puck for Group E now.
Stavanger Oilers from Norway.
And this is their 5th CHL participation, their best result finishing in the round of 32. To Group F we go.
Komar Cracovia from Poland as well.
All right, their 3rd CHL participation, the best results in the group stage, looking at Group G.
The team from France, Grenoble.
Grenoble, they qualified as national champions, 8 national titles, most recently in 2022. And Martin, with the last puck, Group H.
From Northern Ireland, Belfast Giants.
All right, their 2nd CHL participation, also qualifying as national champions. Martin, thank you so much for getting us started. All right, Ollie, we're moving on to you.
Sparta Prague from Czech Republic.
All right, their 5th CHL participation, the best result, runners-up back in 2016, 2017. Let's see who will be added to Group B.
TPS Turku from Finland.
All right, their 7th CHL participation. Moving on, who will go to Group C, Ollie?
That would be Rapperswil Jona Lakers from Switzerland.
All right. Also their 1st CHL appearance. Moving on to Group D.
Vehervar AV19 from Hungary.
All right, their 1st CHL appearance as well. They qualified as regular season 3rd placed. Moving over now to Group E.
Ilves from Tampere, Finland.
All right, some local love making their 1st CHL appearance. 16 national titles, the most recent 1985. Moving over, Group F.
Straubing Tigers from Germany.
All right, the Tigers joining Group F, looking to Group G now. Who will join Grenoble?
That would be Frölunda from Gothenburg, Sweden.
Their 8th CHL participation, best result as champions in 2016, 2017, 2019, and 2020. And Ollie, rounding us out in Group H, who will join the Belfast Giants?
That would be Davos, Switzerland.
All right, the Swiss. Okay, Sammy, we're moving over to you. But first, Ollie, I want your impression. How are groups looking so far?
Well, I'll answer that question after after
You're
the
gonna let
next
Sammy
teams.
go first?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Anything's catching your eye yet, or it's still too early?
Still too early.
Still too early. All right, well, that leads us to Sammy then. Let's begin.
Good luck to all the teams. To me, that the Pool C looks pretty tight. Jukurit Mikkeli from Finland.
Okay, also making their 1st CHL appearance, qualified as regular season runners-up. Looking to Group B.
Grizzlies Wolfsburg from Germany.
Okay, their 3rd CHL participation, the best result, round of 32 back in 2016, 2017. Sammy, what's looking like it will join Group C?
Red Bull Munich from Germany.
All right, their 7th CHL participation. Ollie, are things starting to come into formation now? Are you starting to lean a certain way a little bit?
I like the Group A.
Okay. Okay.
Group C looks.
All right, Sammy, tell us
Looks
who's going to be
impressive.
joining Group D.
ZSC Lions Zurich from Switzerland.
Okay, they qualified as regular season 3rd place teams, their 7th CHL participation. Looking to Group E now.
Fribourg Gotteron from Switzerland.
Okay. This is when things start to get a little interesting, I think. Martin, I see you shaking your head. Do you have a comment? What are your initial impressions?
Definitely the last group is already a very interesting one, for sure.
Okay, and interesting why?
Oh, quite tough, and it will be very tight.
Very tight. I like a little good competition. All right, Sammy, lead us to Group F.
It will be Villa SV from Austria.
Okay, moving along. We have 2 pucks left.
Mountfield HK from Czech Republic.
Their 4th CHL participation. Things are starting to come into form. And Sammy, who will join Group H?
Hellefdale AIK from Sweden.
All right, their 7th CHL participation. Okay, so things are really starting to come into focus here. Peter, what are your thoughts right now at this point of the group stage draw?
Group H, that's a real tough one. I guess Davos, they have also history. They played in Great Britain, so I guess they have good memories.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I guess so.
There might be some good memories
We will ask
left.
them.
And Ollie, you had a lot to say after Sammy went. So right now, are you feeling confident still?
Yeah, I like it.
Confidence? On a
Yeah,
scale of 1 to 10,
confident enough, yeah.
how confident are we feeling right now?
Me?
Yeah,
Like 10.
10. Okay, that's always good. Sammy, what are your initial impressions?
Well, I think there's going to be a tough polls in Pool G, Mountfield, Frölunda, Grenoble.
Verlanda Gothenburg, okay. All right, and last but not least, Martin, weigh in.
Well, exactly the same. Gee, I mean, we already had a final between Mountfield and Frölunda, so that's definitely a quite interesting game. And as Peter mentioned, H, Group H, Skellefteå, Davos already played them, so it's also definitely a nice rivalry.
Okay, well, I'll be coming back to all of you when it's all sorted out, but we know what it's now time for. Allocating the big clubs in pot 1. Peter, I'm looking to you. Let's see what that first puck says to join and wrap up Group A.
It's his fault now.
Tappara Tampere, Finland.
We have a clash. Alex, please explain.
Yes, we have a clash there. As they cannot be drawn in the same group, means they got to go down already to Group C, because in Group B we already have 2 PS Turku, so you got to move them 2 down.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Peter, I look to you.
Luleå Hockey, Sweden.
All right, and there is no clash there. That's all good. Their 5th CHL rather participation. All right, moving along.
EV Zug, Switzerland.
Zug, okay, their 8th CHL participation, their best result, a quarterfinal appearance in 2019-2020. Looking along here, or Group E?
Red Bull Salzburg, Austria.
That is another clash. So,
Yes,
Alex,
that's another
we turn to you
clash.
again.
They joined the same league as Feherbad us, so we got to move them down to Group E. And they will
Okay.
join Fribourg, Tampere, and Stavanger.
Okay, so the Red Bull Salzburg Green Group E. 4 pucks left.
Rögle BK, Sweden.
All right. No clashes there as they join Group D. Okay, so right now we have a number of groups that have come into focus, that have come into clarity. Peter, what are you thinking as you look at this and we only have 3 groups to fill out?
I'm a little bit shocked right now because we have Rögle in the group stage. So, yeah, we will see.
We're just in a state of shock.
Yeah,
All right, we each let our heart rate drop a little bit.
defending champion.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay. Sammy, Oli, thoughts?
Well, to me, that the Group C He's pretty strong, impressive. And Olli got his big boys in the Pool A with the Luleå and Sparta.
Okay, and Ali, Martin?
I'm happy with our group. Great opportunity for our guys to play against Luleå, Sparta. Both teams were in finals on their countries this season, and that's what I'm most excited about it. But Group C looks really tough as well.
Okay. Well, we have a few more picks, so I'm going to turn back to Peter, and then Martin, I'll come back to you for some final thoughts. And then Ollie, I want to hear if that confidence is still at a 10. All right, Peter, bring us home.
Eisbären Berlin, Germany.
All right, we have another clash.
Yeah. Straubing Tigers are in Group F, therefore the Eisbären Berlin need to be moved. So we got to move them into Group G.
Okay, so Eisbären Berlin joining Group G, which means only Group H and Group F need rounding out. 2 more pucks left.
Ocelari Trinec, Czech Republic.
All right, we have another clash.
Yeah. Actually, we cannot put them into Group F because with the remaining team, Färjestad Karlstad would have been drawn into Group H. That's not possible, so therefore they need to be moved.
Okay, which means, Peter, we have 1 puck left.
Yep. Finally, Färjestad from Sweden.
All right, so everything has now come into focus. The group stage draw is complete. Martin, I said I would turn back to you. Looking at this picture that has all come to fruition, is there a group that stands out to you the most?
It's amazing. I mean, there are very tough groups, and they are quite equal. Group H, as I mentioned before, with Davos, now with Trinec is definitely a tough one. But as Olli said, Group C with Tampere, and Red Bull Munich, the Swiss team Rapperswil is also very interesting, and I'm really looking forward to see at least a few games of those 2 groups.
Okay. Ollie, I said I would go back to you. Is the confidence still a 10 out of 10?
Absolutely. We wanted to face the big teams, and we got what we wanted. And no matter how you look at these groups, every team deserves to be there. Every team starts with 0 points. So we'll see what September brings.
And Sammy, anyone catching your eye in particular, a group that stands out?
Well, I'm still with that Group C. At the same time, the G is kind of right there too, with the Berlin, Mountfield, Berluna. That's a tough one too. Competition, like any poll, there's really good teams, and I'm excited to start watching the games in September.
It's a high bar, September 1st. Mark it on your calendars. And Peter, you brought us home, finishing out the groups. What catches your eye?
Yeah, Group H, I mean, that's a really tough one. It's also always tough to play in Great Britain. So this is going to be a very interesting group.
All right, well, there you have it. Here again are the groups for the upcoming CHL season, a total of 32 teams in 8 groups, with the top 2 teams in each group advancing to the last 16. The knockout stage will begin on November 15th, and the new champions of Europe will eventually be crowned on February 18th, 2023. Before we go, though, I talked about 2 viewer polls that people could get involved in at home. We asked 2 questions. 1, who do our viewers think will be this season's most surprising CHL team? And the answer was the Straubing Tigers. Wow. Interesting. All right. Do we have any comments? Do we agree or disagree with our viewers at home? Is this the correct answer?
Well, at least it's a great one, and I mean, I know they're fans, and I'm really looking forward how they travel with the team, and that's a great chance for the team and for the fans to see other teams in Europe. And under those circumstances, I fully agree what the voting was given.
And Peter, do you think they will be a surprise?
Oh yes, that's a tough team to play, and the Germans always have a good crowd traveling also. So yeah, it's good.
Oh, I have to say, even here, I've heard the German fans, and they can get very rowdy indeed. Our other question we asked viewers was, which country do our viewers think the next CHL champions will hail from? I see some smiles on your faces. Let's see, though, what our viewer results were. Which country will the next CHL champion come from? Okay, so Germany with 8%, but with 27% the Swedes. We talked about the Swedes' success earlier on in tonight's program. Peter, are the results surprising to you?
No, not surprising, but it's about time that the percentage for Sweden goes down a little bit.
Okay, so what would a good percentage be, in your opinion?
Less than 17.
Okay, all right, good. Sammy, Ollie, what do you think about our viewer percentages here? Anything stand out to you, surprise you?
Not really surprised, but like the Swedish teams, they've been really good. There's 27%, so that leaves 70 plus for rest of the countries, rest of the teams. So I'm picking one of the other teams.
Oh, okay. And Ollie, if you had to dish out percentages,
Well,
how much confidence?
Not a surprise that excuse me, the Swedes are top over there. They've been dominating CHL pretty much every year. But hopefully we'll get a Finnish champion this year.
Okay, well, we'll wait and see. Before we conclude tonight, Peter, I know you have a few words you would like to address our audience.
Yes, thank you very much for attending. I also would like to thanks especially to Infront and, you know, in this wonderful building, great setup. Thank you very much for your help and your assistance. Thank you.
All right. And Peter, Sammy, Ollie, and Martin, thank you very much for joining the draw today. Round of applause, please. They did a tremendous job. A reminder that the new CHL season begins on September the 1st. In the meantime, you can visit the official CHL website at championshockeyleague.com for news and information about the clubs and players taking part. You can also check out our group stage fixtures when they are announced in the near future. And be sure to check out the CHL's new TikTok channel, Champions Hockey League. I've heard some rumors, and all of these gentlemen will be joining the TikTok channel. Is that right? Sure. We're making a TikTok dance after? All right, you heard it here first, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy the action for the upcoming season. Stay safe. Take care.